The overarching theme of this whole channel, I've now decided, is how to thrive after sexual assault and PTSD. But there's a way to thrive. Like, it doesn't have to be a death sentence to your happiness. So how can I start living like the person I want to be? All right, it is Sunday, January 15th, and it is day 179 of Chasing Serenity. We skipped some time. I think I have a few more videos that I like in between this time from when I first got to Aurora from my road trip till now. A lot's happened. I hit a wall. Definitely got hit with depression, and it really took a toll on me, not because I haven't handled it before, but because I thought I fixed it and I thought I found the magic pill, and I was so excited and elated for life because I was like, I don't have to be depressed anymore. I'm doing a lot better now, obviously. But it did hit. PTSD, I guess, is a lot stronger than I thought. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a one symptom you can just fix. There's so many aspects to it. But I did just want to give an update. I need to make another video about Battle because she went with the trainer. Things got 10 times worse. She's with my sister in Pennsylvania right now, being taken care of so immaculately, just great. Cress is an amazing trainer, and she's just an amazing human. She loves dogs, and Battle's having the time of her life out on the farm. So for right now, that's good. I'm gonna try to get her back to Colorado once I get a chance to fly out. Basically, I'm just gonna start out with two big realizations that I made. So in one of my last videos when I was redoing the upstairs, which is like almost done now, thank whoever, it was a lot. Taking on this house project was way more than I thought. Tearing up carpet, tearing down ceilings, patching walls, putting in LVP, putting in trim. Trim work's the worst. Regrouting stuff. I learned how to take out and put back in toilets. Never knew I need that skill, but you do. And also, like, we really trust our entire house's integrity to a wax ring. So if you've ever taken apart a toilet, you know what I mean. But I hit a really bad depressive episode. Battle went with this trainer. She almost died. That'll be, like I said, a whole other video. But I made two big realizations that have changed where I'm at now and why even in the middle of winter, I don't feel like I'm depressed right now. I really don't. Usually it lasts till about February, March, except the last few years or whatever. But it'd be like February, March when like spring would hit, which in Colorado it might even hit later. I would start coming back and seeing color. But I started my residency. That was really stressful. Battle wasn't here. I knew the depression was coming back because it's so interrelated to, it's because of the PTSD. I don't even know if it's called depression. It's like anniversary. I don't know. No one's ever really explained this to me. It's not just like a chemical imbalance. It's a reaction to something that happened so many years ago, and my body just like shuts down and is like, don't let anything bad happen. And so I just completely hibernate and get really depressed. I know it gets bad when my body dysmorphia shoots up, and I had been doing really good. I was like, just doing yoga, trying to listen to my body, but I was just getting to the point where I was like, I hated my skin again. I was looking into plastic surgery for the wrong reasons. I have nothing against plastic surgery. I just don't think you can, if you want to change something, cool, but don't think it's going to solve your mental problems, and that's what I was looking at for. So I don't know if this will be taken off YouTube. I hope not. This is all for educational purposes and just for other people not to feel alone in the crazy thoughts you have, or for maybe perspective on what you're struggling with. So as I've stated before, I was raped multiple times. And then I didn't feel safe in my body. Therefore, I tried to change my body. Eating disorders, over-exercising, hating myself. There's the little chain of what happened basically over a decade. So I was meditating to binaural beats. I can't remember the frequency I was at. Completely sober, early morning. I had a friend here, and we were supposed to go work with Battle, and then we were gonna go like downtown. They were helping me with the house and everything. And I just woke up and I was like, I kind of, spicy sadness. And I was like, I haven't had those thoughts in a while, and that's really scary, and I'm not even alone in having those thoughts, so what's wrong with me? And so he suggested I do this this meditation, because I had been meditating already. So I do this meditation. I have this whole vision of me just getting depressed again, and every year it being like this. And the whole point of this Chasing Serenity and the integrative medicine psychedelic experience that I went on was to heal this, because I just did not think I could live like this anymore. There was just no joy, there was no purpose. It didn't feel like it, at least I see it differently now. And I felt like that was coming back up, and I had this vision of that happening again, and me just being so down and out and just colorless and not contributing and not being able to connect and just feeling cold. And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I never wanted to hurt anybody by ending the journey quick. So I had a vision of me like pushing everyone away again. And this is all while I'm meditating. I'm just like seeing this, and I couldn't even like get out of the meditation. I just fell into a deep meditation quick. And I was pushing everyone away. I stopped talking to everybody. I gave battle away. I didn't take the job. I sold the house. I moved to like a little house in the middle of nowhere with like whatever job that no one knew me. I didn't make friends, and I like just let things settle so that no one would miss me. And then I was like, last ditch effort, I'm just going to live at the beach because that always made me happy. And so I went to like some random island beach, and it still didn't make me happy. It's not even that I wanted to be happy. It didn't bring any relief. I just wanted relief. I was like, I don't even have to be happy. I just don't want to like have this weird, gross ache where it feels like I need to take a shower and can never get clean enough. And I just don't like, I feel like I have to crawl out of my skin. Just this horrible, weird feeling that I get. And that just wouldn't go away. And so I decided that I would end things, but I didn't want to traumatize someone else. So I took a little boat out into the middle of the ocean, and I was going to like tie my feet up and, sleep with the fishes. And I had like, I don't know what I can say on YouTube. I really want to be really honest, but I don't want things to get taken down. Because this was just like a vision that I tried to like do something, but then sink the body so that like no one would find it, be traumatized. But I did the thing, and I didn't get out of the boat in time. So then my corpse was just in the boat. And I was just like watching myself in the ocean in this little boat, and I'm like, I knew it would get like sent back to shore, but then a big fishing boat came up next to me. I don't know why I have visions like this. When I say things out loud, it sounds crazy, but it was an epiphany for me. So this big fishing boat comes up next to me, and the captain comes out and sees my body, and it's like he knew why I did it and where I was at, and he's just like, wow, look at her. She really did that because someone touched her the way she didn't want them to. And I know that oversimplifies an extremely painful, terrible thing for a lot of people, but when I've let it be a monster for 10 years and completely control my life and control how I see myself and how I relate to people, making that monster really fucking small helped. And I came out of it and I was just crying because it's like, I also had visions of a million other ways that I would want to things, and watching that happen to yourself multiple times in like a vision was just, I was like, ugh, that's gross. It seemed nice because it was just like relief, but then it's like what's left after, and the trauma for other people was just, it shook me a little bit, and I was kind of messed up for the rest of the day. But then it really did hit me that I was like, wow, if I really, I went through this whole phase of essence where I was like, what is the essence of things? Like the essence of love is just connection, and connection is everywhere, and the essence of power is this, or like whatever. And it's like you can just boil everything down to a very simple concept, and it really allows you to accept life a little bit differently. And I was like, when I boil all this trauma down, even though it happened multiple times with multiple different people, multiple different ways, it's just someone touched me in a way that I did not like, and I'm letting it ruin me. And I saw that put so much emphasis on my body and what's my body worth, and how I let someone else doing something to me tell me what I think my body is worth. And then in turn, I felt like I had to do all these things to make it worth something bigger. And if I like looked pretty enough, or I was ripped or whatever, someone would look at me and think that I have worth and then not treat me that way. I thought everything, a lot of this is because of how I was raised and how our society views women and views beauty standards and such like that. But that's what it came down to. I was like, oh, if you treat me like that, then I must not be worth anything, and you treated me like that because you saw how I looked and thought you could do that to me. So if I completely change how I look and I have value based on society's standards, then someone's not going to treat me bad. And then 2 years ago when I met my best friend, I think she's the most beautiful, amazing woman ever, and I just could not fathom someone treating her bad. And then hearing her stories and what she went through, I was like, oh, it really doesn't matter how you look. Like, people will just treat you how you let them treat you, and people will be shitty to you no matter what. And it was one of those things that's like you knew, but you didn't really know till you saw it. And I didn't even realize that I thought that way. Like, this has taken a lot of me just tearing back the layers of the way I think and the way I talk to myself and the way my reasons behind my obsession with working out and fitness and everything. Even though I do love it, the why was really fucked up. So that was one of the big realizations that just made me be like, wow, I really let someone's stupid action decide how I feel about myself. And it was traumatic, and I know there's different layers, and there's like safety and this, that, and another, but that just really helped me boil it down and be like, hey, people are stupid, and I'm not going to let what someone says dictate my emotions for the day, so I'm not going to let what someone did to me 10 years ago dictate the rest of my life. It did its thing. I've struggled with it, but I'm just deciding that, like, I don't want it to do that, and it's just, you know, another layer. I was like, wow, that's really simple, and I've really let it destroy me, and I don't want to do that anymore. And then that kind of, ooh, those were my hips and knees. Woo! It helped, but then I'm still struggling with the body dysmorphia. And then I was just like depressed. I'm like, okay, don't want to be depressed. I think it's stupid. I think the reasons that I'm depressed and the PTSD from sexual assault is stupid. Is it real? Yes. Do I hate it? Yes. How do I fix this? And you know, it connects back to my body dysmorphia. I was assaulted when I was a little bit heavier after MCT. And then I went crazy running and working out because I just didn't know how else to cope, lost a bunch of weight, and I felt like if I was skinny, I was a different person, and I was safe. And so I got really obsessed with that. And so the way that I feel safe is by controlling my body, which I think is like a really common thing for eating disorders and over-exercising. Like, you can't control anything else, so like control your body. But then I get hypothyroidism, and I can't control my body anyway, so I'm just like, all the time. So I've worked with a lot of trainers. I've worked with bodybuilding coaches. I did a bodybuilding competition. I worked with performance coaches when I was doing jiu-jitsu competition. I worked with just like healing my body with other coaches because I knew, like, I was like, nothing's making sense. Like, I'm eating 800 calories, working out 4 hours a day, and my weight's not moving, and I'm really puffy, and like I just went to everybody for help, right? But along this journey for however many years, like that was mostly after I got out in like 2017. I was always really obsessed with working out, but I didn't have coaches till I got out. But I've had progress pictures throughout this whole thing. And I had some on my phone from my last coach because another thing was I was obsessed with my weight from the Marine Corps. Like, they have a weight standard, and it's pretty much like, if you're over this weight, you can't be a Marine, fuck you. And that freaked me out just because of all the other stuff going on and the eating disorders and my obsession with it. It just really made things bad. And so once I got out, I was like, I am never fucking weighing myself again. And so I would just go off pictures. I was like, I really only care about what I look like. Weight's just a number. It's just gravity on the earth. Fuck it. So I would take progress pictures, whatever. So I was looking through them, and I found like my Google Drive when I was making these videos, and I found like years and years of progress pictures. And I was like, this is kind of creepy that I'm this obsessed with it, but at least I'm consistent. I don't know if I should be proud of myself. I don't know if this is like, it's probably a symptom of a disorder, but whatever, who cares? I have them. So I was looking through them. And there was times when I was working out for 4 hours a day in the gym. Like, you know, 2 hours of cardio, 2 hours of lifting, or an hour of cardio, an hour of lifting, and an hour of walking. Or there were times when I would just walk for 5,000 steps in the morning, 5,000 steps at night, and then like fast until 6 p.m. and only eat at night. And there was times when I got my calories up to like 2,600, working out only 3 days a week, and walking and doing yoga. That sounds really healthy because it's kind of what I did now, but I was so stressed about it that like it didn't help because I was just freaking out mentally about it. Because I was used to waking up, going and lifting for an hour to 2 hours, usually 2 hours, and then going to jiu-jitsu for an hour, hour and a half, and then striking for an hour, hour and a half, and then taking my dog for a long walk. Or when I didn't have my dog, I would just go for a run by myself, and then I'd be like, well, I need something to relax, so I do yoga at night. So I trained for like 5 hours a day. And restricting calories or just like being obsessed with it. My stomach was always upset, which I think also didn't help because I wasn't like getting the nutrients I needed, but it was because I was so stressed out. Whatever. So there was like all these different things. I had like a really bad time with it. I had times when I would just walk. I had times when I was overtraining, when I was training like normally, but I was also in school and like doing morning classes and night classes and training in between. My body looked the same. Through all that, all these like months of hard training, I took like 6 months of only walked. I did lose a little bit of muscle, like my shoulders didn't look as jacked, and not that I'm jacked, but like they didn't look as like they were there anymore. And like my quads, you'll see a little bit of definition change, like a little bit, like nothing major, but I'm like, I look the same, fucking same. After all this effort, after counting calories for like MyFitnessPal, I had like 10 years of me counting calories and like sticking to like 1,600, 800, trying to get up to 2,100, like all these like different numbers, like I did all this research with like what my BMR would. I would go get my BMR actually like tested through like the CO2 thing. Like I was like, I'm going to figure this out. Like my body shouldn't be, oh, that's a four-wheeler. My body just wouldn't respond how it was supposed to, and it would drive me crazy because I'm like, why am I different? Why does this work for other people and it doesn't work for me? And I totally had just like threw the mental health and like the cortisol and that whole HPA axis thing out the window. I'm like, doesn't matter if I hate my life and if I'm sad and stressed. I'm gonna count my calories and work out so hard that I can be pretty. Like, it was so stupid. And so finally I was just like, damn, it doesn't matter what I do. Like, this is just my body. It's just gonna look like this. I'm just, you know, I just have to accept my frame, my genetics. I'm not ever gonna be some little like skinny ballerina kind of person, which, you know, if you are, great. If you're not, great, whatever. It's just like I had this sick picture of what I wanted to be that is not a healthy version of what my body could be. And so I was like, if I'm trying to get something that's unrealistic and my body doesn't respond anyways, I need to give up. And I'm never the kind of person to give up. I go ham till I think that I can get what I want or what my goal is. But I was just like, my why was so fucked up. My why was like trying to change my body to be something that makes me feel safe, whatever. And so I was like, until my why is better, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not training super hard. I wanted to get back into jujitsu and CrossFit. Not CrossFit, cross the fuck off. I wanted to get back into just jujitsu, Muay Thai, lifting, yoga, hiking, and some like bodyweight stuff, because I think calisthenics are really cool and like how to connect with your body. So I was like, I wanted to get into all that, but I know if I jump back into it, I would just get obsessed with like I'm not seeing results because I don't look different. And so it's like, I am done. I'm going to lift 3 times a week so that I have bone density and I don't become a frail old woman who can't walk down her stairs, because I see that a lot now. And I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna eat when I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat a lot of meat because that's the only thing I want to eat right now. Whatever, and chocolate, fine. And so I was like, that's just what I'm gonna do. Because like all those physique changes was also crazy different diets. Keto, vegan for 3 years. Keto for the bodybuilding. And then macros most of the time. And then like high carb, low carb, blah, blah, blah. Like all these different things. And I look the same. So I was like, this is stupid. I'm wasting so much energy trying to get the perfect plan and the perfect macros and the perfect this. And I was like, I could have been reading about something way more interesting and educating myself and learning how to play guitar like I've always wanted to learn, and learning how to speak a different language or become a better nurse and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's where I'm gonna put my energy now. So I just kind of started working on the house, lifted 3 times a week. I actually started feeling good in the gym again, which like I had anxiety about going back to the gym. I'm in a new place, but it was mostly anxiety of like, I don't really care about lifting heavy weights now. I just want to feel good. I don't even know if I want to do this, but like I just know how to do it, so I'm going to do this until I find something I like. And then sometimes I'd be like, I'm just going to do yoga today. And I would just do yoga, and I really started liking that because it was cool. I was seeing more progress in yoga than I was in the gym. Like I've had my left side is just jacked from a nice little tumble I took in training. My hip actually started feeling better, and it wasn't locking up, and I wasn't limping as much. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Like I'm actually seeing progress that's not like in the mirror, but it's good for me. And then I would be able to like hold different positions that I didn't really like think about before, just because, I don't know, it was just fun. And so I was like, this is a little bit different. And then the gym started getting better, and I started really liking, I'm not even like trying to push heavy weight, but it's just, I'm so much more connected to myself, because I'm like, I'm not here to try to like get a certain amount of reps and burn a bunch of calories. I'm like, I just want to focus on my form. If I'm going to be here, I'm going to do something right. Like that's kind of my mentality about everything. If you're going to do something, just try to do it right. I'm just enjoying being in the squat rack. I'm enjoying deadlifting again. I'm getting my weights back up. Like I'm trying to do pull-ups and do more calisthenic stuff where I'm like very connected to my body. I'm like, okay, I'm liking this. And then I'm like, what else can I do? And then I started to see my why change. Instead of me being like, okay, if I do this, I'll look a certain way. If I do this, I'll get to this goal. I'm kind of like, it's like a little challenge. I'm like, I wonder if I can do this. And like, that's my favorite reason for anything. If you ask like why I moved across the country, why I decided to go to nursing school, like there are some overarching reasons, but mostly it's just like, because I can. Like, why do I dye my hair? Why do I do this? Why do I ride motorcycles? It's like, because I fucking can. And there's a lot of people out there that can't, and I want to take advantage of the experience that I have in this planet. So yeah, that's literally what it's becoming. I'm like, I wonder how hard I can push it. I wonder what I can do with this mentality of like, I'm not just gonna run myself ragged for the fuck of it. Like I have a demanding job where I'm like on my feet for 12 hours. I have to be mentally sharp, so I can't just be wrecked. But then the other thing is that now that I'm on the floor and actually started this job, the days I work, like I'm not working out after. I'll do like a little yoga, like mostly just stretching after, but I'm not working out. So that's 3 days a week that are forced rest days, which I've never really had. I've always just kept going and like had an active rest day where I would run 6 miles. Gosh, my logic was great. So that's what I've been doing recently, and I actually got the itch to go back to jujitsu. So now I'm looking for a jujitsu gym, and I'm gonna go to a rock climbing gym and get a membership there, because I want to do that for like 3 months and just see how it changes my strength and like the connection between your body systems and how you move, or your musculature systems. and see how that translates. And so everything's just becoming an experiment. Instead of me having like this hard strict goal of like, you have to look this way, and if like you work out so hard but you don't look like it, and like no one's gonna see that you look a certain, like whatever the weird logic I had, that like if you don't look like you work out, then people don't think that you work out, so then your worth is not there. And the other part of that is like, people are stupid, I'm stupid. Any judgment I make on another person comes from my own experience that is obviously very fucked up, as you can tell. And like all these standards and societal standards and family standards, and so like I judge you and you're a reflection of how I see myself, and so other people are doing that to me. So other people's opinions don't fucking matter, because they're just a construct of what surrounds them. And so like none of us really have a baseline. So if you're going off of how people judge you, you're just going to be sad, and no one's judgment is correct. It's just their judgment. And as much as I didn't really let people's opinions or what people would say to me affect me, I think just being the tribal animals that we are, it does affect you. And so like I just had to shake that a little bit and just be like, it doesn't matter if I look like I work out. What matters is if I can do it. Like, can I just jump on a rock wall and go climb for an hour and not like get gassed? Like if there was a situation that I don't know, I guess we don't have to get into like my weird apocalyptic view of the world, but it's just, can I do it? Can I go train for an hour at Muay Thai and an hour at Jiu-Jitsu and go lift that night and do yoga and then figure out a way for my body to recover? And is my mind strong enough to like temper that so I can do it all? And I've really gotten into meditation. I think that helped a lot with the depression too. So yeah, it was probably up till end of November, very beginning of December, that I started to feel this lift. And like I made those two big realizations, and I felt stupid for a while. I was like, I really let this stuff wreck me and like get me down, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I kind of just wrestled with myself, kicked myself. I was working on the house still, so it did take my focus off of like the gym and all that stuff for a little bit, which I think was good. And then I just kind of like came out of it, and I was like, I don't want the next 10 years to be like the last 10 years. I know that. So how can I start living like the person I want to be? And so I just kind of constructed this view of how I want to be and the person that I think I am. And then I'm like, okay, would a disciplined person do this? Would a happy person do this? Would a person who loves himself do this? Would a person who values himself do this? Would a person with high standards let other people treat you like this? I still stayed off social media for this entire time just because I really wanted to sit with myself into this shit and learn the kind of relationships I want and the kind of relationship to the world and the things around me that I want, and like trying to be present with that. But then after like the beginning of December, a friend came and visited me, and it was a wild time. We had an interesting little journey, and I think that like that final, like being with him, and he's just a very motivated person and he has a lot of drive, and seeing kind of like the reflection of myself in him and where he's coming from, and just being able to talk to him about like, because I've been alone since I left North Carolina. I hadn't been around anybody since I left, and I've known him for a long time. It gave me a really good perspective on who I was, who I want to be, accepting who I was, and being proud of all this stuff. Like now when I sit here and think about like going through nursing school, all the training I was doing, all the traveling I was doing, while being just so depressed and messed up mentally, I'm just like, wow, you are a little strong, at least mentally. So I got a little proud of myself, not in a bad way. And then I was like, okay, if I did that and now I have these healthy coping mechanisms and new goals that aren't like aesthetic, it's just like I want to experience life fully, I want to see what I can do. It changed things for me. And so I just kind of came out of this depression way sooner, and then it was like a light bulb. That's when the light bulb changed, and I came out of it. And I remember going running. Christmas Day was another, like, I really saw that I was out of it, because holidays have always been just like, I hate them. I hate the idea of like all the drama that would happen in my family. I hate like fake gift giving. The whole blah. But when my friend came, we went and we went and looked at Christmas lights, and it was like before Christmas and everything, and I actually kind of got excited about Christmas, and I had a little Christmas tree, and my beautiful, wonderful, amazing aunt sent me Christmas presents, which these earrings I'm wearing now. She's amazing, and it was just a shift. I just was like, why be upset about anything? I can't control what's going on in the world. I can only enjoy where I'm at, even if it's not a great place. And I know I would live a very privileged life compared to a lot of the world, so it's like, why not enjoy it? But even when I was in really dark times or like in the hardest part of my training in the military, I would kind of have that mentality too, where I'm like, well, this is where I'm at. Like, let's make the best of it. And you learn to like embrace the suck. And so I did that for so long, but I'm like, this doesn't suck. So why can't I just embrace the joy and the happiness of where I'm at? And so I woke up and, you know, like sat Christmas morning, drank some coffee, because I'm actually like drinking a little bit of coffee here and there now, but I'm not addicted to it anymore, which is so interesting. And I went for a long run, and it felt amazing. I talked to my friends, but I was by myself. I worked on the house, like sat around and read, went to the gym. I was just elated on life. And then I got snowed in and I had to walk to the gym one day, and that was a whole adventure. But it's like all these little things I just started really enjoying, because I'm like, why not? This is my experience. I can't really, like, I can change what I can change, and I do want to go places and do things and all this stuff. But I'm like, right now, right here, it's like I have this 2-year contract with my job, kind of stuck in Colorado. Well, not really. Allegedly, I'm stuck here. I can leave whenever I want. But I mean, at least for a year, I need to get some good nursing experience, and I'm loving my job. It is so overwhelming. I see the weirdest stuff, but I freaking love it. It's so cool, and I see where I need to study. I see where I need to know things, and it's like a constant moving target. I love it. But I'm just gonna enjoy everything. I'm gonna enjoy going to the gym. I'm gonna enjoy going to jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna enjoy pushing myself, but not in a way of like, it's not self-harm anymore. I think that's what I'm trying to get to, is that I would punish myself for things I didn't do to myself, for how other people treated me, and I would try to change my body, and I was like mad at my body for being a target, when I should have just like, I can't even say should have, but it wasn't my fault. It really wasn't. I didn't know how to have boundaries. I was roofied at one point. Another one, I literally was pinned to the floor. It was like, couldn't control it. Even if I could, I didn't, and I just have to accept that. I came to a big realization with self-acceptance, and just like, if this is the body of it, because I also believe in reincarnation. Not everybody does, whatever, you know, believe what you believe, but I think there's something to that. And so I'm like, you know what, maybe the next life I'll be something else, but this is the body I chose in this life, and I'm gonna make the best of it. And even if it's not like beauty standards wise perfect, or it's not exactly what I am attracted to, I just think I'm not my type when it comes down to it, and that's fine. But I can like, I'm gonna make the best of it. And enjoy doing weird things and getting tattoos. And if I want to have plastic surgery just because I think it'd be interesting, fine. But I don't think you should go into plastic surgery or make these modifications because you think it's going to make you happy, or especially if you think it's going to make you have value for someone else to see. Your value is intrinsic. You are a human experiencing the most crazy world. Oh gosh, that will go down a rabbit hole too, because then I get to this whole thing that was like, everything is powered by the sun. Like, every animal you eat, everything that animals eat, all the energy, like, everything is powered by a fucking star. And I'm worried about taxes. Well, not really, but just like the whole idea of society and all these societal norms and expectations. And it's like, do you not see how magical and just unexplainable the world around you is? And that blows my mind on a daily basis. I get kind of like these little chills about it. I'm just like, oh God, nothing seems real. As you can tell, I'm kind of back to my old self. I am excited about life. I'm excited about training. I'm excited about this job, but I'm also already seeing like the next step. I do want to move back to the beach. I don't know what beach yet. I have a few in mind. But I want to move back to the beach and then travel out of there. I want to learn this job really well. I want to train as hard as possible. I'm excited to get battle back. I'm excited to go see my sister in Amsterdam this year. The overarching theme of this whole channel, I've now decided, is how to thrive after sexual assault and PTSD. Because a lot of people struggle with that. PTSD on its own, and then sexual assault on its own as well. But I think they're, like, obviously they're hand in hand. But there's a way to thrive. Like, it doesn't have to be a death sentence to your happiness like it felt. So yeah, that's where we'll be going. Got 179 days left of chasing Serenity, and then we will see where we end up. So I'm gonna go adventure around Denver because I have not really gotten out yet, and yeah, I look forward to talking to everybody again.